on episode 7, and this one is called Toxic Standards. And I did contemplate on dressing a little more cute, but I did tell you guys that my most comfortable that I am in is when I'm in my band tees and my biker shorts. So that's exactly what I thought I would do, because I am trying to make a point here that we can be whoever we want to be, dress any way we like, and not worry about what anybody else thinks.
Adam Sandler? What are you doing here?
And so I want to be comfortable. And that's what we're going to be addressing is unrealistic standards for both men and women. And it's just not about looks or beauty. It's about human qualities that are also unrealistic, how they expect us to be, how they expect us to act, those kinds of things. Redefining gender roles is what I kind of want to start with. And so for some reason, we were ingrained from a very, very long time, maybe since Adam and Eve, I don't know, that women are supposed to cook, clean, and take care of the children, and men are supposed to hunt and provide. And when that is necessary, all of those are essential for everybody's well-being and taking care of a family. I don't want it to be specifically the responsibility for one gender. So I feel like when you are ready to start a family, that it needs to be a team effort and that everybody puts in the same amount of work. And sometimes we gotta switch those gender roles.
Hit it, get it.
Because being a single mother, obviously, you can't depend on another man to take care of you. And even being a single father, like, you will need to step up and you'll need to clean your own house and cook dinner and do all those kinds of things. And so I feel like there should be no gender roles. I feel like all of us should have the necessary skills needed in order to survive. And that is, everybody needs to know how to cook. Everybody needs to know how to clean, the team effort. Because if you cook, then I'll clean. If I cook, then you clean, So you guys kind of have to do the same things. And maybe women should need to know how to take care of their lawn and change a tire and put oil in the car and all those things, because we can't depend on other people all the time. And so I will say that I am a princess, and so I don't like to get my hands dirty. I'd rather not.
I'm a princess.
So if I have a choice, I'm gonna call somebody to come help me if need be, but that doesn't mean they're always going to be available. So in that case where I am stuck in the middle of nowhere and I don't have service and there's nowhere near me, then I gotta man up and do what I gotta do and change that tire and try to see what I can do to see what's going on with my car. And I know that's not what we like, and nobody wants to do those things, but
why would I want to do dishes?
It's necessary. Sometimes we just need to learn and know those things so that we can be in survival mode if need be. And so that's what I'm trying to say is there should be no gender roles. Everybody should know how to do the same thing that the other gender knows. So we don't have to depend on each other so much. I feel like those are just normal life skills that we should all know. And so I'm also going to talk about women first, and that's what is expected from us. And I feel like we are expected to be perfect and beautiful and unflawed and polite and classy and sexy, but conservative. We're here for the male gaze. We're here to cater to them. And we're here to be the perfect wife, mother, and we are expected to do all the work that entails.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. Like, you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old. Never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
And where some of those things, are true, I don't want it to be everything, especially when it comes to defining who we are, what we look like, and who we want to be. Like, if I want to wear my bandies and my biker shorts and not care what anybody thinks, then that's what I'm going to do. If I want to be sexy, it's not for the male gaze. It's for me. It's for my confidence. It's for how I feel.
Oh, who you trying to look good for? My damn self. I want to look good for myself. I can't look good for myself.
Because sometimes getting that male attention is not always the best. Like I talked about my last episode, I don't like to be catcalled. That is not fun for me. And so sometimes in certain places, I dress conservative just because I don't want that kind of attention. I sometimes don't want to be seen all the time. And that's especially when I'm in mommy mode, when I'm in business mode, when I'm here to get shit done. I don't need those distractions. And so that's when I dress like this. Now, if I'm going out with my girls, we're having drinks, I want to take a lot of pictures and I want to look good and I want to look good for me, then that's when I dress up and I let the girls out. And sometimes if I want to get the attention, then you guys already know my little tricks that I talked about in my last episode. I do what I got to do to get it, but I'm not expecting it. I'm not seeking it. I just kind of go in with no plan. When I see something I like, then I do what I got to do to get it. And so that is one of the best parts of being a woman, is I feel like we get to choose who we want and we do what we got to do to get it, and more than likely we are going to get it. And so we get to choose. And whereas men, unfortunately, I feel like they don't get to choose all the time. They kind of settle for what they can get. And I feel like that needs to be something that needs to change. I feel like men should also have their own standards.
Yo, we as men need to start holding ourselves to the same standards that these women be holding themselves.
I feel like men should not always want to seek the attention of women, that they should want to do things and live for themselves, that we should not be a priority in their lives. And I feel like everybody, every single soul person needs to be their own priority and do whatever makes them happy and not be out there to impress the opposite gender. But I feel like we should all come together to support each other. And so when it comes to men, I do feel for them too. They also have unrealistic standards and expectations and are judged completely different than we are. And I always said that I would never want to be a man.
Somebody gotta say it. And I'll be the bitch to say it. Oh, child, I'm so glad God ain't make me no man, because I can't be no man. Cause y'all motherfuckers expected to not show emotion. Bitch, I be crying. Y'all expected to pay all the bills. Bitch, I don't even want to pay the internet bill and it's like $12, bitch. Don't nobody give a fuck about your feelings. And that's even more fucked up. Cause bitch, I be needing somebody to care, bitch. Then y'all gotta be strong and kill spiders and take out bitch. Then if you hurt yourself, you can't bleed cause it make you a pussy. Oh my God. The moment you speak your piece, they say you complaining. Bitch, I'm always complaining, bitch. Moral of the story, I love y'all and I commend y'all cause it ain't a motherfucking way in heaven or hell I'd be able to pull that shit off. So I love y'all, kings.
I'd rather have be a woman and have everything that it comes with, like periods, childbearing, all those kinds of things, and not be judged by the way I look. So the way that men, I feel, are judged is by their height, their hairline, their strength, and their wallet. And I feel like those are very horrible things to be judged by. I feel like it should be your charisma, your personality, your hustle, those kinds of things, that as long as you have a job and you work hard and you do everything you have to do to get to where you want to be, I feel like that should be the number one quality, and not just for men, but for everybody. And so I do feel for you guys because I feel like women, we are, I guess it's easier for us. Like if something's wrong with us physically, then it's a very easy fix. If we don't like our hair, then we can cut it, we can dye it, we can put extensions in it, we can do whatever we want. If a guy is balding, like there's not too much you can do. And so that does suck. And if a woman is short or tall, then it doesn't matter. Like if we're short, we're, cute. And if we're tall, then we're, model looking women that are tall and sexy. But if a man is short, then unfortunately, most people don't really look twice at them. Not even the short girls. The short girls like tall guys too. And there's literally nothing you can do about your height. And I hate the term gold digger. And so that's what most women are perceived at, that date men that are established, that have a lot of money. And there's a difference between wanting to date somebody that is successful and has things going for them, or is wanting to date somebody just because of how much they make. And more than likely, you will be able to tell based solely on the looks. And so obviously you hear about the sugar daddy situations. Nowadays, there's even women that are sugar mamas. And so that's when you see, a very older person with a very young person. That older person makes a lot of money and takes care of the younger person. And if you can do that and you can get in that situation, and if that makes you happy, then do what you got to do. I'm not here to judge, but that can never be me because I am terrified of dependency. I have been in situations where I probably could have took advantage of that, but it's very important to me to make my own money and work for myself and get things for myself. That's one of my priorities. Whereas that might not be everybody's, obviously, but I feel like it should be, so that you don't need to depend on other people. I feel like that's really, truly terrifying, and be judged and talked about because of that. And I want to believe that, these people really do love them truly for who they are. But, we all look at people like that. And what's literally insane is, I am a cougar. I do like younger men. But where these guys get me fucked up is when they ask me for things like gas money or like money for a haircut or food. And I'm like, what? No.
You must be crazy, must be out of your mind, out of your mind. You must be drunk, you gotta be real. You must be drunk, you gotta be real.
biggest turn off is if you're dependent on somebody else and asking them for shit like that. That's literally disgusting.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just threw up in my mouth.
Like, I would never ask a man, can I get some money so I can get my hair done and my nails and my lashes and like for food? No, like what? I'm sorry. If that's like okay with people, like, then that's you, but that is definitely not me. And I mean, I know I'm old, but I still look good. So I still pull people that I don't need to pay for. Like, they be paying me, okay? They be giving me money. They be doing like, let's be real here. And like, they're not even like overly attractive, like out of my league type guys. They're like some basic ass dudes that like, you're lucky I even looked at you twice. And it's really because I don't have a lot of options where I live. And so that's really the only reason I even gave you a chance to begin with. So for you to think that I'm gonna help you financially when we're not even in a relationship, and it's like, what? Fuck no. Like, I am not. And like I said, I would never expect a man to do that for me. Like, if they want to, I'm not going to tell them no. I'm not going to decline it. I'm going to let them, but I'm not going to ask. Like, if you have to ask for something, then it's not worth having. And if you do, then like, tell me, does it work? Do women do that? Do you guys pay for these men's gas and haircut that you're not in a relationship with? Because if you do, please stop. Please. Because no, that is not the way it should be.
Go, hey, girl, what is wrong with you?
Everybody should be paying for their own things. Okay, but if you're in a relationship and your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your man wants to pay for those things, then yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And I ain't trying to be anybody's sugar mama. I'm my own sugar mama. I'm my own sugar daddy. I'm going to buy all the things I want and need. I'm not going to pay for your ass. Like, I have a child and I'm not rich. I don't know what these people think that I make mad money, because I don't, especially now. I'm struggling, okay? Like everybody else. So for you to ask me for shit that's like not even that expensive, like, why would I want to be with you, or why would I want anything to do with you if you can't even afford your own meal or your own gas or your own haircut to upkeep yourself? Why would I want that? And that's how everybody should see. Why would anybody want that? And so I feel like we need to kind of change and have higher standards for ourselves so that we're not taken advantage of and don't allow anybody to manipulate you into buying those things. Now, what could be different is if, as a woman, my man likes my nails done and he likes my toes done and he wants me to look a certain way, then yeah, by all means, he should be paying for it. Because I don't think y'all realize just how much that is and how much it takes and how much time it is to upkeep yourself like that. I'm very basic. I'm very simple. I only kind of upkeep myself once a month, which is dyeing my hair just to, you know, keep the grays out. I wax my eyebrows, and that's really the only things that, I cut my hair, you know, I get my little undercut, I trim it so that I don't have split ends. So I do upkeep my hair a little bit. Besides just dyeing it, I take care of my skin. Like, I do the simplest basic things. I don't wear a lot of makeup. And so for me, maintaining my look and the way that I want to be is easy. But for other people that like the eyelashes all the time, like the extensions, like the nails, like everything else, that takes time and money. And sometimes beauty is pain. And some pain just is not worth it. And so I do get eyelashes maybe once a month, depending on whether or not I have a big trip that I'm going on. And the only reason I do that is if I'm going to like Vegas or Cancun or Hawaii, you know, somewhere that's like extravagant that I want to look good, but I don't want to put too much effort in, because with lashes, like you literally don't need to wear makeup. It looks like you're wearing makeup. So that's my favorite thing about it, but that's really the only time I will. Now, if I'm going on a vacation with my son where we're going to be doing a lot of activities and sweating and hiking, then no, I'm not going to get lashes. And that's what it is to me. And that's the thing. You get to choose what's worth upkeeping or not. And there have been times where I wanted my body to look better, whereas like I'm a big girl, I'm pretty thick. I do not work out. I wish I did. I really do. I wish I loved working out like most people, but I don't. To me, it's a chore. It's a job. It's very, very hard for me to get motivated to want to do that. And so sometimes I try to take the lazy way out, and I have done body contour. But the thing with that is like you need to upkeep that too, because if you don't constantly, you know, be active, drink your water, sweat it out, get the water weight out, keep it tight, like it's gonna loosen up more than what it was when you did it. And so that's the hard thing too, is like when you're upkeeping, you gotta keep upkeeping. Like you can't really give it up, because then your true beauty starts to deteriorate because of this artificial beauty. And so that's why I choose not to do too much. Because when I was getting my lashes done a lot, it took my real lashes with them. And so then I literally had no lashes at all. And so it felt like I always needed them. When I got my fake nails, my nails started to deteriorate and not be so strong and be flimsy. And I used to have beautiful, healthy nails. So that's the thing that sucks about this artificial beauty, is that it takes away and deteriorates from your true beauty. And so as a woman, that's the choice that you need to make on what's worth it to you or not. If you have the money and the time to do it and it makes you happy, then by all means. But if you're on a budget like me, then you only get it when need be. And I know men, they need to upkeep too, you know, and I feel like some don't, but sometimes should. But like I said, I try to be like, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you happy, do you. If you want to have this scruffy beard that isn't smooth and lined up, then you look like a caveman or a lumberjack, then you do you, boo.
Looking like a caveman.
I feel like if we're upkeeping ourselves, you know, then maybe you should too. Take care of that beard, put some oil in there, you know, clean it up a little, and get your haircuts when need be, comb it out, you know. Like, I feel like it should be whatever makes you happy, but also like if you're in a relationship with somebody, then you want to make them happy too. And if they don't like kissing you because your beard is scruffy, then maybe you should clean it up a little. If you guys want us to wax and shave everywhere, then we're gonna do that, you know? So I feel like it should be a team effort when it comes to that as well.
Kelly Clarkson!
And what I do really, truly hate and feel for men is that they're not allowed to show vulnerability, that they get called all these horrible, rude, mean names if they show any emotion. And I truly, truly hate that so much. I really wish that we were a society that could look at each other as not a man or a woman or just these two specific genders, but as a human, as a person, that we all have vulnerabilities, that we all are going to be emotional at times. And I feel like that's just so horrible and sad that we expect men to just lock these up. I feel like it's so very important for them to have somebody to confide in, to turn to show vulnerability with. And so you need to be that supporting partner, that supporting person, that if your man needs a good cry, that you're gonna be there for him. And honestly, I really like vulnerability. It shows me that you're a human and not a robot. And I try to be tough and I try not to show too much, but sometimes shit gets heavy and you just need to let it out.
Sorry, but
Please don't cry like that. Please don't, Brennan.
I feel like we just all need to be there for each other and support each other and not judge each other. And I feel like it's more men judging men than us judging them. And I don't understand it. I feel like that's how it always has been, though. Like, respect this man for showing vulnerability, and why can't you? Like, you guys need to let it out. You need somebody to talk to. It's okay. We're not gonna think you're weak. And even though other men say that, then it's because they're weak. If they can't respect you, then they have something wrong internally with themselves. And I truly believe that's the only reason why anybody would insult anybody else. Because if you're happy with yourself, if you're comfortable with yourself, if you're confident with yourself, why are you going to point out anybody else's flaws? Why are you going to even comment or talk about the way somebody else is acting or what they're doing or the way they look? You have no need to. If you love yourself enough, then what does it matter what this other person is doing? They do not affect you whatsoever. So why would you go out of your way to make somebody else feel bad for being who they are? Those aren't good people. and if they are your so-called friends, then you need to drop them, because friends should be 100% supportive no matter what it is. In my whole episode of Question Existing, that's what I talked about. If you don't have people that are going to be there for you, be your support system, somebody that you can confide in and be vulnerable with, then they have no business being in your life. Sometimes, they always say, if you want to humble yourself, have siblings or a child, because they will roast you and insult you all day for no reason. And I don't understand that. I mean, I don't do that to them. But if that makes them feel better about themselves, or they feel the need to do that, then do what you got to do, because it's not going to affect me, because I love myself too much. I'm just going to laugh at that shit. Like, oh, that was a good one. Okay. And I mean, sometimes they are kind of funny, and like, I will, give them props. But it's like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand the teasing and the roasting and like the talking shit. Like, I will, but not about your physical attributes, not about your qualities on who makes you who you are as a person. Like, I'll talk shit about dumb things like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan? Like,
what's up, Dallas? Hey, Dallas! The last time you were in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born!
Shit like that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't affect them. I mean, it depends, because some football fans get very emotional and very, insulted, I guess, even though it's like, this team does not care about you. They don't know who you exist. So like, why would you fight so hard for them? Like, if people want to talk shit about my teams or something I like, I don't care. Because I'm still gonna like them no matter what you gotta say about it. And so I feel like we just gotta have a tougher skin, and also just like what your mama taught you growing up. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. It truly, really is that easy. Like, your opinions are not necessary unless I'm asking for your opinion and I want to know what you think. You don't need to say anything at all. It's really that simple. Like, yeah, you can have your own thoughts, you can have your opinions, but you can keep them to yourself. And most of the time I don't ask because I don't care.
Oh. I don't
approval. And I feel like that's just how we should all live. Men and women. Be and do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, and don't let anybody dictate otherwise. And so I feel like, being a woman, we do have a lot more privileges than men. It is called pretty girl privilege. And so we just bat our pretty little eyelashes and we get whatever we want. And it's very nice and it's convenient and it's easy. And I always said when I go out with my girls, if I have to wait in line, that's the day I will stop going out, because that means I am too old to be there.
Yeah, because you're old as fuck.
So I'm the kind of girl that if I go out anywhere, if there's a big ass line, I am not waiting in that line. I just strut my ass to the front of the door, and every single time, nobody has batted an eye, nobody has questioned me, nobody has told my ass to get to the back. They just take my ID and let me in without even asking or saying anything. And so that's what I do. When I want to drink, unfortunately, obviously it doesn't work on female bartenders, but if I want to drink and there's 50 other people, I'm going to plop the girls up on that table and try to get a drink before anybody else. And so I do use some things to my advantage. Some things I get without even asking, like discounts at stores, and that's nice. I'm not gonna tell them I'm gonna pay full price. If they want to give me a discount, I'm gonna let them give me a discount. If they're gonna put a few extra things in my bag without charging me for them, I am not going to ask or question. And so, yes, we are spoiled. We do get whatever we want.
There's nothing wrong with being spoiled.
We do have pretty good privilege, but sometimes it can also be a problem, which means people judge you and look at you a certain way. Like I said, they like to throw that term gold digger around, and it's like, no, I didn't ask for these things. They just gave them to me. And so that's what I don't like. And then people assume that if you look a certain way, that you think a certain way and you act a certain way, which means you're kind of like a airhead or a bimbo, or you can't have an intellectual conversation about life, that you're easy, that you're all these things. So I call them preconceived notions. And also, when you look a certain way and you're in a relationship with somebody, it does cause a lot of insecurities. That has been my biggest issue with every relationship, situationship, anything that I've ever had, is that they were insecure with themselves. They thought that they didn't deserve me and that I was too good for them. And so they were fearful, or just assumed that I was cheating on them or giving other people attention. And so I'm the kind of person, like, if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm 100% loyal and I'm all about you and I only want you. I don't even look at other people. But for you to assume that is literally insane. Like, let's be an adult and have a conversation about this. And that just means, like, they're not secure with themselves. Because if I'm with somebody, I don't want to question their loyalty. I want to trust them. And that's the only reason I would even consider to be in a relationship with them. If I can't trust you and I don't think you're loyal, then why? Why would I even try to take that chance? And so that's something I kind of don't understand, is if I am constantly telling you and reassuring you that I only want you, you know, why? And so what's unfortunate about that is some people are like, well, I'm going to hurt her before she hurts me. And that's what they do. And then they end up just ruining and throwing everything away when they had a good thing. And unfortunately, they don't realize that until it's so far gone that there's no saving it and there's no coming back from that. And there's just nothing else you can do. And so you got to love yourself and be secure with yourself before you can love and be secure with anybody else. And for men, I think when they are successful, there's a term that says more money, more problems. And so for a man that's successful, like, obviously women are gonna gravitate towards you, and unfortunately you're not gonna know whether or not it's a genuine connection. And so unfortunately, sometimes maybe you need to kind of hide it and not flaunt it and wear these expensive jewelry and drive these fancy cars and restaurants and post everything that you're doing, because if women see that and they want you because of that, then that's not real, that's not genuine. But at the same time, you should be able to enjoy your success. You should be able to you know, purchase these things for you and be able to wear them and not have to worry about who has good, pure intentions or not. And so I feel for men too, like that would suck to not know whether or not your boys, your homies, whatever are there because they're A1, day one, you know, true people that are going to be there for you through thick and thin. And then when the money runs out, they're gone. You know, so that's why you got to kind of stick with who you know, what's comfortable, what you've known before your success. Because after your success, unfortunately, you don't know who's real or genuine. And so you got to make sure that you as a person and your personality, your charisma, all that shines over your success. I feel like we also need to address body standards because some people don't have control on how they want their body to look. They can go to the gym every day, they can eat right every day, but that may mean that they're healthy internally, on paper, on blood work, on tests, but they don't look fit, they don't look skinny, they don't look a certain way. And it's because we have genes in our body that prohibit us from being able to lose that weight. Certain ages, our metabolism slows down. So don't beat yourself up.
I'm Cellulite Sally. Look at my huge badonkey. Oh, and don't forget about me. I'm back fat Betty. Now, who could have said that? Oh, yeah, it's Tina the talking tummy.
Dude, I'm sorry, but this trend right now that I really, really hate are those Ozempic shots or any of those kind of shots. I'm sorry, but people are looking a little scary. They're looking like skeletons. They are not looking healthy. I don't feel like putting substances in your body that are not organic should not be a means for you to lose weight or to look a certain way. Like, I personally don't believe in Botox, fillers, none of those things. I don't do it, but that's my personal preference. And so that's the thing. I feel like all those things are a preference, not a necessity. And so if those are the things that you feel like you need to make yourself happy with the person that you look at in the mirror, then I'm not going to judge you for it. Because obviously there's certain things that I do that make me happy too. But like, it's not healthy. And I wish people would stop. And I have accepted that, like, if I work out, I'm working out to be healthy, to feel better, not to look a certain way, because I know my body now is incapable of losing that much weight that fast for toning. And when I do lose, I lose my favorite attributes, which is my booty and my thighs. And so I got to give and take. Like, I can do as many millions of squats, millions of lunges, millions of things to keep them, but my body does not function that way. My body, as soon as it loses weight, that's where it's taking from. And so when I work out, it's to maintain a healthy lifestyle, not to look a certain way. And it took me a long time to learn that and accept that. And so loving yourself has to do with accepting your body and what it can and can't do. And I know I personally am constantly overestimating my physical capabilities. I think I'm young and think I could do those things. And then my body comes back and it's like, bitch, you thought. And then I'm in pain for 3 days. And so, but sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes, you know what? That was a good time. So you know what? I will recover. But we just got to accept ourselves for what we were given, what we were dealt, and try to just love ourselves fully and completely. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I love filters. So just recording this whole podcast without one has been so hard for me because I am my biggest judge. I am constantly looking at all my flaws. And so I do like the lighting helps a little bit, but you know, I feel like for some reason, the person that I see in the mirror is not the same person I see on camera. I don't know who that bitch is. How? I don't understand why. How it reflects differently. Is that just me or is that everybody? Because I feel like I look completely different in the mirror than I do in the camera. But when like I, use the filters, it's like I feel like almost closer to what I see in the mirror. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. That could be it too. But I do like being ugly in peace. And that's when I want a relationship, I want to be with somebody that I can still be ugly with them in. That I don't need to feel like I need to look a certain way and be on point all the time, in order to keep their attention. And there has been a few people that I dated that I felt like that they were prettier than me. And so I'm like, okay, if you look better than me, I don't think I can maintain this. Okay, this is an unrealistic expectation for me. And so I love that you look this way, but I don't think I could be with you. I feel like I would have to upkeep my hair and my lashes and my nails and dress a certain way and look a certain way. And I don't want that. I want to be able to look scrubbed out and not be judged for it. And I want you to still think that I'm beautiful. And so I want to be able to wake up and go to sleep every day without makeup, in my raw, in my ugly, and you still wake up next to me and say that I'm beautiful. Not like, oh babe, you should get ready. I think you should put some makeup on because you're looking a little rough. It's just what we have to do is accept each other for who we are and not have to feel like we need to upkeep any kind of role, any kind of beauty standard, any kind of quality that makes us human. And so I hope that's what you guys got from this, that we need to bury those toxic standards and only have standards that benefit us in a positive way, in a genuine way, in a way that we really actually need for our survival, not because that's what was taught and that's what is put out there through commercializing and all that kind of stuff. So be who you are and don't worry about anybody else, and the real people will love you and accept you exactly for everything that you are.